fellow YouTubers. Danny here at DW Aquatics, doing another video that I haven't done in a while, sorry guys. Basically, a fellow YouTuber, Ivan Carter, gave me an idea to do this video on basically how to get new life into your old sponge filters that maybe your air pump isn't strong enough to power them anymore due to the sponge filters being too low down in the water column. So anyways, I just thought I'd make this video in response to Ivan Carter's tip of the week. Brilliant series by the way mate, really enjoying it, keep it going. So let's crack on with this video. So as you might know, when you usually buy a sponge filter, they come in various different shapes, sizes, but especially the ones with the weighted bases, pretty much all working exactly the same way. So what you get when you basically strip the sponge filter apart, you'll get sponge. This one's off the XY 380 Chinese large sponge filters, brilliant filters. But I've found when using these you do need a really powerful air pump to get the best out of them. So yeah, you get your sponge, you get the weighted base, quite heavy, and with these you get 3 of these which clip together just like that, and then basically what you'll have then is this goes inside the sponge with your weight clipped on the bottom, and then at the top, which I don't have to show you unfortunately, you'll have another clip which is a bit like this that sits on the top with a clear tube, and that's where you stick your air line. Air's forced down to the bottom of the tube before it's dispersed and drags water through the sponge, etc. I'm sure you all know how they work. So basically, you're facing the same problem I did. I run currently 43 tanks in this fish room, which I'm due to do a video on. It's only been completed now for about 2 weeks. Entirely new build. So keep an eye out for the video on that. Wait until our import's in before that's done. Back to this. So you've done a fish room, or you're running multiple tanks off the one air pump, and usually your filtration method is sponge filters, but you're finding that you're setting up so many tanks and your air pressure's getting weaker and weaker, to the point where your air's barely coming out of these, so you're scratching your head wondering what you can do. This is what you can do. Basically, start by doing the reverse of what I've just done and completely strip your filter apart. The clear tube at the top, bin that. The clip that clips onto the top, chuck it, don't need it. These should have 2 clipped together on the inside of the sponge. Now what you will notice, that where this is a complete hole, it won't be. It'll be like a small narrow tube running right through, which is obviously, it connects all through, which what your air gets driven down. Just grab a pair of long nose pliers. I've already done this, so I'm afraid I can't show you, but basically don't be shy, grab a pair of long nose pliers, basically rip the inside part out where the air's forced down, so you're left with this on both of them, as you can see. If you're left with any plastic bits on the inside, be sure to pull them out, because these will form an important part. After you've done that, put them to one side, put your sponge to one side, and put your weighted base to one side, because this is the weighted base is what's going to keep your sponge wade into the bottom of your tank so it doesn't float everywhere and become a nuisance. I'd just like to say, guys, as well, if you've got more than one of these, you can do this exact same method to join them all together. So for instance, I've got 3 of these XY380s, and I'm about to make, instead of them being 3 individual filters, they're all going to be one, so it's going to be a monster. So you put them to one side. Sorry if I've gone out of the camera, currently using my phone at the moment as the video camera's broken. Then what we have here is 21.5mm overflow waste pipe. Really cheap, you can buy it from the likes of Screwfix, about £1.40 for a 3 metre length. Really cheap, guys, and this is perfect. You need this size, don't go any bigger or smaller, due to the reasons that you'll find out in a mo. And basically what you want to do is, you want to measure from this sits in there, so you want to measure from the bottom lip right up to about 2 inch, give or take, above the top of the sponge. Once you've done that, take out your drill multiple holes all the way round. This is where the water is going to be sucked in from. Once you've done that, put that to one side and get yourself a 90-degree elbow, and you want to drill a hole in the top. This is where your airline's going to sit, so you need to make sure that when you drill the hole, your airline sits nice and tight in there. This is a 5mm hole. I used a 5mm HSS bit to drill this. Then what you do, you go back to your baskets, and depending on how many sponge filters you're joining and bonding into one, join them together. So per sponge filter you generally get 2 of these, so I've got 3 sponge filters, so I'll have 6 of these to connect, which I'll do for you right now. Excellent way of reliving your sponge filter. Never need to chuck them away again when you see your bum. Just do this, very effective, works brilliant. So there we have, all joined together. Don't know whether I can get the full length in the camera. Once you've done this, revert back to your 21.5mm overflow pipe. It's going to be quite a tight fit, don't be scared to put a bit of brute force into it, and you want to shove it right up, like that. There we go. Once you've done this, you get your weighted base, this bad boy right here, and you shove that on the end like that. Once you've done this, simply grab your sponges, slide them over the top. I'll have to watch my hand gestures. Slide them over the top like so. 1, 2, 3. Looking like a right monster filter already. Once you've done that, guys, last piece of the puzzle, 90-degree elbow. Stick it on the top. And believe it or not, guys, that is it. Now, the only problem I found with a filter this sort of size is the weighted base isn't heavy enough to keep it, to keep it sunk. It does tend to move about a bit. just basically pull off your elbow, handful of gravel, shove it in. I'll do that now while I'm here. Excuse me. This is the part where, like Ivan Carter, none of the gravel goes into the filter, it just goes all over the floor. Oh well. There we go, all over the floor. Lovely. It's only a fish room, they're built to get messy, aren't they? One more handful should do it. That'll do. Tidy that up a bit. Bear with me guys, sorry about that. Get the brush out. There we go. Shove on your elbow. That's it. Good to go. Show you it working so that I'm not lying. Stuck in my shoe. Excuse me while I just move the camera. There you have it. This, by the way guys, it's 4" wide and a whopping 13" tall. Real bad boy. Over to the tank. The first time you do this you might need to squeeze the sponges a little bit, and then you literally get your airline. Lovely. Shove it into the hole. You might not be able to see this very well. Bit fiddly with one hand. There we go. Because of the angle I just need to put the camera down a sec. Sorry guys. Dry my hands. And there you have it. Sponge filter is back in action. As you can see, spitting water out there, lovely jubbly. And you can do this with any filter, so we've got another smaller one here that I can't take apart because this one's had to be siliconed in the top. Exactly the same methods. Brilliant way of bringing your old sponge filters back to life without the expense of buying more. So Ivan, I hope you enjoyed the video, mate. All of my YouTube subscribers, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. As always, please rate, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in another video soon. Cheers.